So a few weeks ago, I made a video covering a situation where Crunchyroll finally announced that Funimation was going to shut down. Now, it wasn't something that was coming to the surprise of anyone who's been watching the whole scene for a while, because Crunchyroll acquired Funimation years prior to its shutdown. So it wasn't really like, oh my God, they're actually shutting this down. I did not see it coming. The only thing that people didn't see coming was the fact that they were going to give the middle finger to all Funimation users who actually have a digital library there of things that they have purchased. That was the only real thing that caught people off guard, and rightfully so. Crunchyroll shouldn't do that. It's backed by Sony. Sony owns them. There's no reason why they can't afford to be able to transfer everything over, or at least have some form of a system set up in place where they can still access it down the line. And then to tell the users, tough luck, too bad, so sad, go to our new Crunchyroll platform that has a whole bunch of anime on there that you should be watching instead of that old shit that you got. Why are you focused with that? That's not a concern. Don't listen to that. That was obviously one of the worst response ever. Now, the reason I'm talking about Crunchyroll again today is because there is something that came across my feed a while back that I just wanted to talk about real quick, because I think it's really, this is what I hate about things like Crunchyroll acquiring companies like Funimation. It's because it starts to create a monopoly in a system where they have no one else to challenge them. So a while back, The Verge interviewed the CEO and asked them some questions, and one of them that stood out was when they asked whether the big merger with Funimation meant Crunchyroll now felt stable enough to attack the market, or if there were more mergers and acquisitions to come. And so the CEO said, "We feel like structurally we're in the right place. We're in the right holding company so that we can go and attack the opportunity that's in front of us. Will there be potential inorganic opportunities to add to our current growth? Yes, and we would pursue them when they make sense. But I do feel like we are in the right place. We have the right structure to focus on our future." Now, when you read something like that and they say, hey, we're not taking any cards off the table. If we see an opportunity to acquire somebody and we think it makes sense, we're going to do it. That is something that you don't want to hear, because all that means is more consolidation of one person to go to for every single thing. Now, to some people, that's a good thing. If you have Crunchyroll and you only want Crunchyroll, that is great, because you don't want to go to HiDive. You don't want to go to Netflix. You don't want to go to any other platform other than just Crunchyroll itself for all your anime needs. But the problem with that, and the thing that a lot of people tend to forget, is when companies get to this consolidation and they become the sole source for everything, that puts them in a place where they can do whatever they want. If for some reason Crunchyroll ever decided that they want to raise the prices and raise them to a price that's so exorbitant that, of course, it would probably lead to a lot more piracy than it already does, then people are going to be shit out of luck. They can't just go to Netflix and say, oh, well, Crunchyroll, you're charging so much, I don't want to pay that. I'm just going to go to Netflix and watch the same anime. It doesn't work that way. Crunchyroll secures the exclusive rights to stream said anime on their platform. And then to add on top of that, if you're someone who watches in dub, then you're going to be more shit out of luck, because let's say it goes to a platform that doesn't have no dubbing capabilities and the company doesn't want to do it, then it's only Crunchyroll that's going to be able to do it if they choose to do a dub for said anime. And then it leads to a situation where you have nowhere else to go. Overall, this is not a good mindset to have for a company already as big as Crunchyroll, and the fact that there's not many people already in the anime space that are players. Realistically, this is something that would be good for, I guess, a dub fan if they were to get more rights right, because a lot of companies don't even want to do dubs as it is for anime, even though there is a market for it, and there are a lot of people who watch things in English or other languages other than just Japanese. Not everyone wants to read subtitles. But for some companies that acquire these rights, they don't see that it's worth the time, investment, and money to sit there and create a dub for anime if it's, let's say, not super popular, but they did get the rights for it. So then those people are shit out of luck unless, let's say, Crunchyroll got it, and then they have the backing and support by a company like Sony so that they can make dubs for it, as long as it seems like it's going to be somewhat worth the time, effort, and energy, and of course money. Overall, this is just one of those things, again, I just wanted to talk about real quick, because it's something that you see happening with gaming recently, and Microsoft, of course, buying out Activision Blizzard, and the fact that they bought out Bethesda Studios. This consolidation shit is really never a good thing in the grand scheme of things for consumers, because at the end of the day, it allows these companies to sit there and raise their prices to levels that they feel they want to. Just like Netflix themselves, they are already looking at raising the prices again, because they got so much content you can't get anywhere else, and they already got the rights for it, and they're like, where are you going to go? Exactly, you're not. You got HBO, you got Disney Plus, you got Hulu, you got all these other competitors, but they don't have what we have. And now with them trying to get into live streaming and wrestling and everything else under the sun, they're going to keep raising that price, because guess what? Where are you going to go, buddy? Nowhere. And that's what I hate about companies that get to a point where they're more or less a monopoly, because they know that consumers have nowhere else to go, and they don't, and there's no way they're going to have any competitors either. Because again, to sit there try and go against Crunchyroll, you got to be already super ultra fucking wealthy and have connections out the ass to even think about considering getting rights to have anime on said platform if you are somewhere new to the game. We're at a point with when it comes to consumer and digital entertainment and consumption that there's no such thing as new competitors coming out unless it's already a big company that's already established and they want to get their foot into another marketplace. Let's say Apple, right? If Apple wanted to get into anime streaming, they could because they got the capital to. But if me or you want to get into it, there's no shot we would ever do it because it costs too much fucking money and there's so many hurdles you would have to go over to even start to make a dent in that place. And again, that's what these companies understand. They know there's going to be no competitors showing up, so they can do whatever they want and get away with it. Anyways, I talked about this long enough. I just wanted to rant about this for a quick moment because it just sucks to see shit like this and to see more monopolies more or less being openly stated like this. Like, hey, who cares if it's going to be a monopoly on us or we start consolidating way too many services? Our fans want us to be a one-stop shop, so it's all right. Who cares? When in reality, again, it's never good for the consumer ultimately. Yes, for those who want to stay on one platform, it might seem like a good idea, but for actual marketplace and the health of businesses and competing with others and trying to make sure you get the most value out of your money, it's not good when you have everything all in one place. Anyways, you made this far into the video, consider giving a like, subscribe to the channel. Let me comment below what you think. Have a great day. Yeah.